Hi, everybody. Good day to you and Happy New Year. This is our first video for 2023. I'm Ali Bulor, and this is my colleague Scott Emmerich. And we're going to be talking today about the special parole program that just went into effect for Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans. So Scott, what is this special parole program?
So this parole program allows sponsors who are in the United States with lawful status, so U.S. citizens, permanent residents, or otherwise lawful status here, and who have the qualified financial means to do so, to sponsor foreign nationals from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, or Venezuela to be paroled into the United States for a temporary period. I think it's up to 2 years, maybe, given what's going on in those countries, right? And it allows that petition process to happen before those foreign nationals arrive at the U.S. border, in the hopes that those people can get their documentation cleared up ahead of time, and there's less confusion, less negative impact at our southern border.
Yeah, so there'd be, for sure, the goal is to make the migration process more orderly and less chaotic at the border, safer for really everybody, including the United States, of course. So the minimum income for these folks that want to sponsor, is there a minimum?
Not that I saw.
No. No, I mean, as long as, they're working and they're filing taxes, I mean, you don't have to be rich to be a sponsor. The people getting paroled in or applying for parole, they should have no negative immigration history, obviously. That's imperative.
And they check the sponsor for negative, like, criminal history and stuff like that too as well. National security criminal stuff, not just...
Right. And I believe there are about 30,000 paroles that are scheduled to be approved per month, right, from these countries. Yeah. So folks basically can stay home where they are and have somebody sponsor them, and we'll go through the process of sponsorship. And then what happens is that parole is ultimately approved. And when it's approved, that person can board a plane or come to the border and be admitted to the United States. So what's the process?
The process is first that the U.S. sponsor, not the beneficiary, the U.S. sponsor has to apply with immigration first using Form I-134A. That's the financial evidence form, where they would put in, however much money they make, as well as any property they own, assets they have, and confirm under penalty of perjury with the U.S. government that they can afford to take care of however many people they're bringing in. And this includes, you have to include every single person you bring in. So it can't just be, the head of a household and they bring their wife and 3 kids with them. There needs to be one form for every single member of the family.
Gotcha. And then there's an app. CBP has an app that you can actually, the applicants can actually go on there and put in the information, and supposedly the app will work and it gives hopefully cross fingers, heads up to the CBP that these folks have approved petitions that they can enter, and they'll be processed, normally at the border. So this is for these countries: Cuba, Haiti, thank you, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. So what about all the other people in the world? What happens to them?
So, all the other people in the world are just subject to our normal immigration law right now, which is Title 42. So if, let's say, somebody from Peru decided that they no longer could stay in Peru and they needed to come to the U.S. for protection, they could come to the U.S. border. They could tell CBP at the border that they need asylum, and Title 42 would come into effect. They'd be stuck right now in Mexico, kind of waiting to be heard on a credible fear interview.
Right, and that can be quite uncomfortable because you can get detained, credible fear. There's no rhyme or reason as to how long that may take to actually take place. So it's a lot of issues. Really, the whole idea about this program is to minimize the the number in the caravans, right, that are have been approaching the U.S. border. So there are other parole programs for, say, Ukraine, right? They have, so Ukrainian parole program has its own requirements, which is different than this. They have, Ukrainian parole program has, residency requirement. They need to have been outside of U.S. prior to a certain date. Everything is listed on uscis.gov. That's the USCIS website, which has up-to-date information about the Ukraine program and also about this program, the special parole for these 4 countries. If you have questions on, the Ukraine, I mean, we get a lot of Russians now, we get a lot of Ukrainians, really people from all over the world that are fleeing some kind of a persecution from wherever they're from, and they try to get to safety. That's why we have the numbers at the southern border that we have. And, our immigration laws which are extremely, how do we say, broken? Complex, thank you. Extremely complex, right? That's why we have jobs here. But if you have questions about any of these programs, feel free to reach out to us.
Yeah.
We're the Balor-Carl Immigration Group, www.americanvisas.net. All the information is there, and we're happy to help.
All right. Yep.
All right. Happy 2023 all, and see you soon. Bye-bye.